We're back to the studio to do some talking. This time we're going to talk about swimming. It's very, very special and dear to my heart. As a gentleman who's 20 years, somebody I've known close to 15 years, we're representing Ghana in Manchester during the Manchester Power Games. Is in the studio. We're talking about Bryan Akoto. Bryan, how are you? Smile for me, come on, like you used to do there. It's been ages.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Bryan is in the studio with someone who's acting as a co-manager, I say so. He's acting manager. Somebody who's just sports swimming, hockey, golf, and whatever. An educationalist. Ajia Zinabu Suleimana. Ajia, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
And how's life?
Cool, taking it easy.
Okay, I'm sure you're looking forward to on the 5th, 14th, 15th, and 16th at the Celebrity Golf Club too.
Exactly, I'm well prepared for it.
Yeah, yesterday the ladies were here. Are you prepared for the Ghana Open?
Oh yes, I am. I'll be there.
And you pull a surprise.
And I'll put a surprise.
Okay, but this evening is about your son, Bryan.
I know, right?
Okay, so let's start with Bryan. Bryan, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir.
Known you for 15 years. I remember when you used to hold that rackets at the Accra Sports Stadium, the lawn tennis court. All of a sudden, bam, swimming is part of the game. How did you start sports? I'm talking about swimming. So when did you start swimming?
I started swimming at 6 months old. My mom was teaching swimming privately to some people, and then she included me in some of the lessons so like I wouldn't be lost, I wouldn't be bored when I was a child. So after a while, I just picked it up just for fun, and then I continued on to competitions and so on and so forth, and now I'm here.
And you are here. Okay. So what came in tennis before swimming again? Or because your mother was engaged in tennis, you decided to try hands too?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Where have you been for a very long time? I've seen you for a while. Where have you been?
Mostly school.
In Ghana?
Yes, in Ghana.
Oh, okay.
GIS, because I had A-levels, and now I'm in Central University.
Okay.
But since there isn't a swimming pool there, I do train at Legon swimming pool.
Okay. Okay. There you have it on your screens over there. One of your practice sessions over there with Bryan trying to improve on his time. And remember that he will participate in the Manchester Power Games pretty soon. Tell us more about that. Okay, let's cross over and focus on your mom, who's like a manager, a co-trainer. I'll say so. Mom, how are you again?
Good.
Okay. At what time did you realize that he could be a good swimmer? I mean, at what time did you realize that he's going to be a good swimmer? You teach swimming too?
Yes.
At what time?
In fact, at the age of 6 months, like he rightly said, I decided to put him into the pool because I realized that he has this one-arm disability.
Yeah.
So thinking about what can he do in sports to bring up his confidence.
Okay.
So when I put him into the pool, I realized that he could use his legs very well. So paddling, immediately when I saw it, I decided that, no, I should put some seriousness.
Did you enjoy that decision you took?
He was having fun. He was having fun. From age 6 months till 2 years old, he was having fun. I was still putting my eye on him. Then age 3, he was still doing it with armband.
Okay.
I had 2 armbands on him.
Yeah.
And then he said to me, Mom, can you take off the armbands? And I was like, wow. What do you mean I should take off the armbands? Because I knew one arm is weaker than the other.
Yeah.
So we could do it up to the age of 5. But then he insisted. So I said, okay, this is the time to develop the legs.
Okay.
So the legs should be powerful. So I could carry him through no matter what happens, no matter if in case he finds himself in the deep end. So I trained the legs, make sure that he could kick very well, train the stronger arm, then remove the armband from the stronger arm and left the armband on the weaker arm. So after 3 years, 4 years, he came back telling me that he's not comfortable with the armband on the weaker arm, so he wants to do it by himself without armbands. I said, okay, go ahead. So that was where I realized that he was ready to go and represent himself. So I took it off, and I took him seriously with his training till date.
And it's been great.
It's been wonderful.
Okay, Bryan, how easy or difficult has this very sport of yours been in terms of swimming? How easy or difficult has it been?
I wouldn't say there's a level that I can describe how difficult or easy it is. Because of how long I've been doing it, it's become almost natural to a point where I can do it even if I am stressed or there's a problem that I have to face, like survival or something, I'll be able to do it. There's no questions asked on how easy or difficult it is, because it'll probably be one of the easiest things I can do at a time, because I don't have to think about what I'm doing.
Quickly. For now, the main aim is to ensure that you represent Ghana and do very well. Flagging the Ghana flag will be very, very interesting on the international stage. The Manchester game is right on your door front to ensure that you prove a point. What does it feel like, knowing very well that we'll be mounting the stage in the name of Ghana? How does it feel like?
There's a lot of pressure.
Say again?
There's a lot of pressure.
Okay.
That is
Is she giving you one too? Pressure?
a bit. A bit. But I do have to shoulder the pressure and continue on with my training, regardless of how much pressure there is. So even if there is pressure, I have to continue and serve the country.
Okay, quickly. How do you juggle between schooling and doing swimming too? Because yes, the state education is very important. We all know how it is. But how do you juggle between the two of them? Because you need to prove a point at both angles.
I do my best to appear for classes because I appear for classes all the time. I never miss classes. But due to training, I do continue school online and I submit all my works through email or a pen drive. So it's not really much of a question of for whether I'm in class or not. I still get the work done and I still do train as well.
Okay, there aren't too many para swimmers here in Ghana. You and I know very, very well. When you go to Legon, when you go to Birmingham, and Tessana, when you go to the Bukom boxing, you don't find too much of them. How do you feel being one of the few, if I'll say so, few power swimmers in Ghana? How do you feel?
I feel very lucky firstly, I feel very lucky. And secondly, I feel a bit alone because there isn't much competition around. Yeah. So I do have to swim against able-bodied people and continue based on the fact that I am one of at least 1,000 people who have these disabilities. But I do have to continue pressing on, even if there are people who are better than me physically. Okay, and that's trying to compete along the able people also tries to give you a certain mark that you need to get there, if I'm not mistaken. Indeed. Okay, quickly, let's talk about Manchester now. How did it come about?
Looking at his performance whilst he was in GIS, and looking at his performance after he left GIS, I kept on pushing. He shouldn't just stop there. What of if we put him into a professional swimming gears? Yeah. So I pushed it up with Farida, who has been very, very supportive. Yes. Okay. Very, very supportive. And then she saw him when he was the junior champion, when he won the junior championship. And then she said, well, it is true that we can register him. Now the National Para Committee has been set up for all kinds of discipline. Okay. So she's going to do all her best to put her in. So they discussed it at the national level, looking at whether if they can get some more or some few Paralympic swimmers to join him. But we couldn't find any. And then they sent him a letter inviting him to represent Ghana. Yeah. So quickly, I said, for where? They said Manchester is coming on this July. Yeah. And then he has to go through a medical exam, go through, practice sections, number of practice sessions to get him sorted out. Yeah. So quickly, Farida put us through. We went through all that. And then when we finished, we were told that he's gotten about a month or two to prepare towards that. So that is how we came by Manchester and getting ready to it. But nevertheless, we were told that he still needs to have a qualifying point to be able to swim alongside with the World Championship, which is not going to be easy for him. However, we are still getting ready. Whether it comes on or not, we are still getting ready because he still has a letter again to represent Ghana in Paris 2024 Paralympic Championship. So we are looking forward to all that. Right. We're not giving up.
How are you preparing towards this very able, huge task ahead of you? I know there's a championship coming on this weekend, but how are you preparing?
I train mostly all the time, every week, almost all the days. I only have one rest day in between the weeks. Okay. And during that, I usually go biking around the town to strengthen my legs even more. But then most of the time, I do rest, but then I have to be awake to do schoolwork as well. But the training is very intensive, that I can say.
Do you think you are improving?
Yes, I do.
What does it mean to you, knowing very well that there's a possibility that you represent Ghana in Germany and also go to Paris? What does it mean to you?
It means a lot. It means that I can represent the country I was born in, and represent the country that my mother was born in, and also represent everybody that I have ever known in this country. That I am showing the representation of every single person that I know in this country.
But quickly, doing this thing needs a lot of cash. How are you supporting him in doing this thing? Because listen, trying to represent Ghana, being a power sports swimmer is very, very difficult. How are you doing this?
Well, it's been a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
I say a little bit because I need to put all the resources together.
Yeah.
Whether I solicit for sponsorship or not, I shouldn't wait for sponsorship because, of course, I know that I have him with me, and I know that I'm preparing him towards his own future and his own career as a professional swimmer to become with, because he's now turning 20.
Yeah.
So all my monies that I have worked very hard for has been, a portion from one point to another. And driving him from home to training with dieting and, everything to keep him going, Charlie, I'm ready for it. Unless maybe somebody else sees me going through it and wants to support. I mean, any other person is welcome, but if not, I'm still a single-handed person who is trying to make sure that he achieves his dream, because that's his dream.
Bryan, I want you to use this platform to tell the corporate world why they need to invest into you. Why must they invest into Bryan?
Firstly, for exposure of the company. I could provide advertising for, let's say, if I do go for Paris 2024, God willing, I'll be able to give, let's say, an advertising boost, because it's more or less free advertising, because you are sponsoring me and your name will be attached to me as a brand.
Well, quite interesting. We can wish you all the best trying to qualify for Manchester and that of Paris. Your final words before you go. The corporate world, they are listening, they are here in Ghana. They must invest into these things that we are doing as sports people, whether able or not able. Use this platform and tell corporate Ghana why they need to come to his aid.
What I can say is, especially, I'll go so much on the para games, Paralympic athletes, because I have one in front of me. We need the corporate world to come out and support the para athletes. Why? Because they can also do up or put up their best. They can also do something instead of sitting at home and just, being, I don't know how to even describe it, because a lot of people who have children who have disabilities, they look down upon them. People look down upon them. But I think they can do up their best and also bring up the corporate world out. Like my son rightly said, they can advertise any company very well if they are well supported. And the able ones to, in fact, I have Sisu, whom I went to Nairobi with. That was about 2-3 weeks ago. This girl plays an amazing tennis. Needs a lot of support. It's the parents who are also supporting her. I saw the mom. The mom is such an amazing mother.
I saw the pictures of the Billy J's championship.
Thank you so much. That's where we were. And this woman is always following this girl, and daddy is supporting as well. It's all financial issues. Corporate bodies should come out, take up these children, sponsor them in their education, sponsor them in any areas that they think that they are going to give out their best, so that they can achieve their dreams and also make Ghana proud.
Well, thank you very much for passing through. We can only wish that sponsorship will come, and Bryan is likely to make Ghana proud. Thank you very much for passing through. See you later.